Hello and welcome to a special edition of Center Focus. I'm Sloane Dowgiallo.
And I'm Zech Lambert. It's been years since the worldwide pandemic began, and now we are dealing with an ongoing supply chain crisis and soaring energy costs that have fueled the worst inflation America has seen in 40 years.
Americans in our region report financial struggles with high fuel costs at the pump, rising home heating bills, and in virtually all essential goods and services they depend on. Even top economists are challenged in explaining why all of this is happening at one time.
It's a massive topic, and today on Center Focus we explore at least a few of the problems impacting people here in our region. We also focus on when citizens can expect to see relief and some of the efforts made by local citizens to help those in need.
We will begin with rising inflation and energy costs that actually started a year ago. Economists say the original culprit was a pandemic-related supply chain crisis, but now it's the ongoing war in Ukraine that's dramatically disrupted energy markets, threatened supplies again, and caused global oil prices to spike.
Here in the U.S., virtually everything we buy or consume requires energy, and oil prices are up 32% from a year ago. Our team has several reports, including an in-depth interview with a Penn State distinguished professor in economics.
For all this, we go to our news center.
I'm Michael Simon. A lot of people don't realize the impact that fuel prices have on those who rely on their vehicles for their livelihood. Whether it's long-distance truckers or people who deliver goods with DoorDash, Uber, Grubhub, or other services, there's been less of a desire to work in these industries due to cost of transportation. Team member Julia Celio has our report.
Penn State student Isaac Wynn is one of the people directly impacted by the rise in fuel prices. We talked with Isaac Wynn about his experience.
Yeah, so I've been door dashing for 3 years now, but due to the increase in gas prices over the last few months, I've had less of a desire to do it because I'm just making less money.
Isaac says a lot of his friends that work part-time in delivery services have also come to a similar conclusion. A lot of these services have been offering promotions because drivers are quitting and they need more people to sign up and start delivering. Meanwhile, Wynn says he's looking for other jobs not requiring him to spend all of his money on fuel. To better describe the recent change of gas prices, we spoke via Zoom in our studio with Jonathan Eaton, distinguished professor of economics at Penn State University.
The world's recovering from COVID. People are going back to work, going back to traveling. So demand is up.
According to AAA, gas and diesel prices have fluctuated in the past year from $4 a gallon to as much as $7 or $8 depending on the grade or type of gas or diesel fuel in states like California. With gas prices continuing to fluctuate, experts say it impacts every aspect of the economy and the massive supply chain delivery system in America. Reporting for Center Focus, I'm Julia Celio.
Thank you, Julia. For people like Isaac, it's evident there's less money to be made with the high fuel prices taking a lot of their income. Back to you.
To further explain this very complicated topic of inflation and global energy prices, Center Focus reporter Neil Conley has done a special in-depth interview with a noted Penn State distinguished professor of economics. Here's his in-depth studio interview.
Okay, so I'm just going to get right into it here. We are officially ready to start. Thanks again for being here, like I said. So, in your opinion, why is America seeing the high gas, oil, and fuel prices, and why is there such fluctuation currently?
Okay, I mean, the world is seeing high fuel prices. It's not America. The markets for oil and gas are world markets. They're not national markets. So, and the reasons are pretty straightforward. One of the major suppliers has been largely cut off, which is Russia. And so supply is down and demand is up as we recover from COVID.
Right.
Oil and gas prices tend to be very volatile. The reason is the supply is what economists call very inelastic. It doesn't move that much with price. There's only so much of it available at any particular time. Demand is also fairly inelastic. People don't respond very much in how much they use to changes in prices in the short run. So when there's a supply or demand reduction, the effect on price tends to be very large.
How does the economy affect gas, oil, and fuel? And conversely, how does gas, oil, and fuel availability affect the economy?
The U.S. is largely self-sufficient in oil and gas, which means the change in the world price has a negligible effect overall on the U.S. economy because we produce about as much oil and gas as we consume. We used to be net consumers, so a high price had a net negative effect, but supply has grown quite a bit, so we're largely in balance overall. But there are still big redistributional effects within the economy.
Do these issues that we're seeing with the high prices, do they cause problems in other areas of production by any means?
Oh, so well, certainly they make costs higher for truckers, for example. So yeah, it costs more to move goods around.
How can these issues be resolved?
Well, I guess one question is, should they be? I mean, we live in a market economy, or at least we try to, where prices reflect scarcity. And the high prices is reflecting scarcity of supply and the nature of demand.
Thank you very much for your input. This has been very helpful. And yeah, just thank you for your time.
Take care.
Thank you for that report. We're going to take a short break and come back with 2 more reports from our Center Focus team that you will not want to miss.
Welcome back to Center Focus. We've been exploring reasons why everything in our world, especially the price of oil, is so expensive.
And our experts remind us that oil powers the ships and trucks that transport goods and services to us. Oil also becomes the plastics that go into everything, from apparel, car parts, packaging, and even the food we eat like cookies and pizza.
Because of these spiraling prices, there's another serious and unwelcome impact on our local community: alarming crime trends.
For more, we go back to our news center with Gianna Gatti and Lily Koenig.
Hello, I'm Lily Koenig along with Gianna Gatti. If you're a private citizen, business owner, first responder, or an institution like Penn State, you and your vehicles could or have already been the target of thieves.
Millions who depend on a wide range of gas or diesel-fueled cars, buses, trucks, RVs, and farm equipment are under attack for 2 things: thefts of expensive catalytic converters or fuel.
Thieves are drilling holes in fuel tanks to siphon it out and resell it, or they're crawling under vehicles and sawing off that high-cost catalytic converter to resell for hundreds each on the black market.
In just one case, 2 Kentucky men are now facing federal charges for allegedly stealing $90,000 worth of catalytic converters from Kentucky, Ohio, and Pennsylvania earlier this year. That includes 2 from trucks at State College businesses and 3 more on a Penn State Office of Physical Plant vehicle lot.
University police found the men sleeping in a Penn State parking garage with 30 stolen converters they plan to sell in New York. We've been taking a closer look at this costly crime as area businesses and institutions closely guard their vehicles.
Parking lots, car dealerships, and anywhere where there's easy access to cars are being targeted by thieves looking to loot precious metals on your car. There is a rise in catalytic converter thefts across the nation, and your car may be a target of this crime.
And I know from the local police who were here checking the vehicles that we had, I think they had a total of 42 reported.
Mike Clitheroe, who's the service manager at Bobby Rahal Honda in State College, says that these parts can be easily reached and can be cut off in a matter of minutes. Clitheroe also says that catalytic converters can range from $300 to $2,000 to replace. Catalytic converters contain precious metals that are used to convert harmful pollutants into carbon dioxide before it is released into the atmosphere. Those same metals can be redistributed for quick cash.
So much like you'd find in a jewelry store, there's palladium and platinum inside there, and that's what they're going after, the harvest from the honeycomb material, so they can recycle it and reuse it in another converter.
With the increasing price in these precious metals, and with how easy it is to take, it has made catalytic converters a profitable target for thieves. A catalytic converter that is stolen can go for normally $50 to $250. The cars that are targeted as higher value are luxury cars, hybrid vehicles, and older cars. Catalytic converters from these vehicles are more valuable and can go for as much as $3,000 for a converter. If you are worried that your catalytic converter may be a target, there are ways to prevent it from being stolen, like installing a steel plate over it so there isn't easy access and requires more effort for thieves to take. Catalytic converters are an essential part to your car's exhaust system, and they help lower toxic pollutants into the atmosphere. So next time you're parked in a parking lot, you may want to check underneath your car and make sure that your catalytic converter is safe. I'm Nick Mancuso, back to you.
Thank you for that report. Finally today, not all news is bad news during these difficult times. Some call it a light amid a lot of darkness.
That's right. In many communities, people are stepping up to help others in need of everything from weekly food at area pantries to daily hot meals for struggling families with small children.
And they're also helping the many thousands seen on television fleeing war-torn Ukraine with few or no possessions or food.
Area first responders are even collecting and shipping used firefighting gear for Ukrainian citizens staying behind to fight and save their communities under attack.
Back at our news desk, Center Focus team members Julie Jastremski and Shilen have our final report today.
Thank you, Sloane. During the past 2 years, life has been difficult for many people in many different walks of life.
Whether it be supply chain struggles, the pandemic, or the war in Ukraine, people everywhere are in need of help.
And local businesses and churches are doing what they can to help those in need.
We are taking an in-depth look at what's happening and how places around the area are lending a helping hand. Here's Zach Lambert with our report.
Central Pennsylvania is rich with relief efforts for the struggles going on throughout the world today. St. Andrew's Episcopal Church in downtown State College is one place in particular that's given a huge boost to the community. Every Thursday night, the church gives out free meals to anyone who comes. And while it's been going on for a while, COVID has proven it's more important than ever, and according to Reverend Jeff Packard, they've seen a big influx of people since the start of the pandemic.
Before the pandemic, we were serving anywhere from 100, 120, 25 meals. But since we went to takeout only, we are serving closer to 200.
Elsewhere, Patton Fire Company is helping out Ukraine. They have been collecting firefighting equipment to ship to Ukraine amidst the Russian invasion. They're collecting everything from pants and coats to hoods and gloves to try to assist those putting out fires in Ukraine. As for St. Andrew's help toward Ukraine, they haven't done anything specifically yet, but are open to.
In the Episcopal Church, we have a kind of a church-wide ministry that's just called Episcopal Relief and Development, or ERD. And rather than try to organize something from scratch, we've been kind of pointing our members toward donating to their efforts, because that is a church-wide thing.
These are among hundreds of area groups, churches, and volunteer organizations helping those struggling right now with rising prices for food and nearly all goods and services.
Other nonprofit organizations include area food pantries and soup kitchens like St. Vincent de Paul in Altoona. Among its trained volunteers are businesses and community leaders who personally help serve thousands every week with hot meals.
That's our final report for this edition of Center Focus.
Our team would like to thank all those groups and individuals who took the time to help us better inform you on what our communities are facing and all the good deeds people are doing to offset the difficulties.
From our brand new, state-of-the-art studios in the Belisario Media Center at University Park, this has been Center Focus, a production of advanced public affairs journalism students in the Belisario College of Communications.
Have a good day, everyone, and a safe tomorrow.